All right, think about this for a second. We throw around thousands, maybe tens of thousands of words every single day. But have you ever stopped to think if one of them holds more power than all the others? Well, today we're going on a journey to find that exact word. We're going to uncover its hidden influence in some pretty unexpected places, from therapy to cutting-edge science.
Okay, let's dive right in. This quote from sound expert Julian Treasure really sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? The human voice itself is this incredible instrument of power. I mean, think about it. It can build connections or completely tear them down. It's the raw material for how we influence the world around us.
So, if the voice is the instrument, what's the most powerful note it can possibly play? What's that one single word that carries the most weight? We're going to hunt for the answer, and trust me, our search is going to take us to some very surprising places.
So our first stop is, believe it or not, the therapist's office. This is a place where language isn't just about communicating, it's a tool, a very precise tool used to reshape identities and completely rewrite life stories. It's a practice called narrative therapy, and the core idea here is really profound. It helps people stop saying things like, "I am a depressed person," and start seeing depression as something separate from their core identity, something they can have a relationship with, and, ultimately change.
And here's how that actually works in practice. It's a technique called externalizing. First, you give the problem a name. Then, and this is the absolute key, you separate it from yourself. It's not who you are, it's just something that's affecting you. And that small shift in perspective, it creates just enough distance for you to take back control and start rewriting your own story.
Okay, so let's move on to our next piece of evidence and see how this very same power shows up in literature. See, authors have known for centuries that a tiny, subtle shift in language can completely change how we experience a story.
And this just illustrates that shift brilliantly. I feel lost. That's a confession, right? We're on the outside observing someone else's feeling. But you feel lost. Whoa, that's totally different. It's an accusation. It's an observation. It's an experience being placed directly onto you, the reader. It feels immediate and so personal.
Just look at this example from the novel You. The narrator isn't just telling his story, he's telling your story. As the reader, you're instantly pulled into the protagonist's shoes. You're not just reading about the character. In this really strange way, you almost become the character.
This technique creates what literary critics call an uncanny effect. It feels incredibly intimate because it's speaking directly to you, but it's also really strange because the actions and feelings aren't actually yours. It's this blurring of boundaries that is just so incredibly powerful. Okay, so we've seen this word's power in therapy and in art, but does it hold up under scientific scrutiny? I mean, what does the hard data say? Let's take a look. So get this. There was an amazing study from the National Institutes of Health that looked at peer reviews of scientific papers. When authors responded to the scientists critiquing their work, some used neutral language, while others directly addressed the reviewer as you. The results were, well, they were dramatic.
So the crucial point is this. Simply using the word you made the reviewers more positive, more engaged, and way less critical. They even asked fewer follow-up questions. It turns out addressing someone directly just fosters a more personal, more collaborative conversation, even in a super formal setting like that. And this effect is literally hardwired into our brains. I'm not kidding. A big meta-analysis of fMRI studies shows that when we process pronouns, especially the ones that refer to us, a very specific network of brain regions just lights up. Our brains are fundamentally built to pay special attention when someone says our name, or just says you.
Right. We've seen the evidence from therapy, from literature, and from neuroscience. So now let's connect all the dots. What is this powerful word? And more importantly, how can we actually use it?
The answer is you. That's it. It's the word that separates problems from people. It's the word that pulls readers directly into stories. And it's the word that builds a measurable scientific connection. It just shifts the focus from me to the person you're trying to reach. And that simple, tiny shift changes everything.
So how do you use it effectively? Well, you can think of it as the ABC of connection. First, you have to get them to see, and you do that by framing the conversation around their world, their problems. Once they care, you need them to believe. Believe that you get it, that you understand, and that you have a solution they can trust. And only then, only after that, can you ask them to act.
It's the bridge. It's the bridge between you and everyone else. It's the key to making your message land, your story resonate, and your connections just stronger. So the only question left is, now that you understand its power, how will you use it?